best Star Wars characters in my opinion. So don't roast me in the comments if you disagree or flame me or get upset. This is my personal opinion. And as you guys can tell, number 10 is Qui-Gon Jinn from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. He was such a good character in this movie. He's the reason why I still can watch Episode 1, because he was such a good character. He's so wise. He's helped Anakin. I have opinions, but like, he helped Anakin become not a slave anymore. He saved Anakin from like he's the only reason that Anakin became a Jedi in the first place, and I really liked him. So that's why he's number 10. But he's just not as good as the other characters coming up next. So number 9 is Chewbacca. I just really like him. I think he's a hilarious character, especially him as a Wookiee. He's like, "Grrr!" That's it. Grrr! I could do impressions if my mouth wasn't so like dry. I could do his impression. I had the water because if my mouth is dry, but it doesn't matter. But number 9, because he's like a dog and he's loyal, and it kind of like makes him really good in my opinion. I don't know why, but like he's good in this movie. I really like him, and I think he's just a really good character, and honestly is a good sidekick. He's kind of like a dog, and he's like really loyal, and he'll rip somebody's arm off for you, bro. I'm not kidding, he would. And number 8 is Han Solo. Yes, guys, he's my top 10, guys. This is not top 100, this is top 10. So don't get upset because I'm putting him kind of low. It's just other characters on here are just way better than Han. Number 8 is Han Solo because I didn't like him that much as other people did. I liked him in Solo. I liked him in episode 5 and episode 4. I didn't like him in episode 6. Because he's kind of a little weird in that movie, I think. I don't know. I think his character's weird in that movie. But episode 4 and 5 is kind of cool. I really liked his character, though. Like, some character growth started to happen in episode 5, which is kind of what I wanted to see. And he saved everybody. He saved Luke. He saved everybody at the end of episode 5. I being frozen in carbonite. But, like, his character, I'm not as much of a big fan as others, but he's not low. It's just everybody on this character is much better. Number 7 is Leia Organa Skywalker Solo, which is what her full name would be, I think. And I didn't like her as much as these others, but I did like her in episode 6. I didn't like her in episode 4 and 5. She's a little selfish. In episode 6, where she did Luke's plan and everything, made her a lot less selfish and made her more mature in her age, because like she was so selfish. She was grown up. I mean, you guys are going to say, well, she was grown up a princess getting whatever she wanted. Well, she still should be treating people good. She's not the only. Just because she's royalty does not mean she shouldn't be treated. Nobody else should be treated because they just saved her life. She just saved her. Here to rescue her and stuff. She's acting like a jerk. And then number 6 is Obi-Wan Kenobi. I liked Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's just that other characters, like I said, are just much better than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan was a really good character, especially because he was a good character because he was like he tried to understand Anakin, but he couldn't really understand him because because he was born when he was 3, he was trained to he was force sensitive, so he became trained to become a Jedi, and he grew up for most of his life being told to let go of attachments, and Anakin has a bunch of them, and he was like not a very, and also I just really didn't like him as much as others because much people are better. I don't have a lot of opinions on why I put him number 6. I just think he's number 6 because like he's not as good as others people, and he's not as good. I can't relate to him as much because he is not really like a more relatable character like Anakin Skywalker or Padme Amidala. Like those are 2 like real relatable characters. And Luke. So number 5 is Luke Skywalker. Speak of the devil. He's number 5 on this list because these other characters are just so much better. And he's number 5, especially in A New Hope. I liked him a lot. Mark Hamill played Luke so good, except for Last Jedi. And no, I'm not stealing this from people because I got a comment on my first video that I recorded on this channel saying stop stealing this from other people. No, I'm not. When I watched The Last Jedi, I hated it the entire way from the beginning all the way to the end. I just didn't like the movie as much. His character, and Last Jedi kind of ruined his character, which I really hated about the sequel trilogy. They would take good characters that everybody loved and just destroy them, and just like make lose all that character growth they started in the original trilogy all the way back down to zero and starting all over again, so they won't ever change. He didn't even change in The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi, I hated that movie. And it's not the best film ever. It is not the best Star Wars film ever. I really don't like it. And I think he was really good. It's just that the next person on this list is way better than Luke. I mean, he had a lot of character growth throughout the original trilogy. I think so did Darth Vader. In A New Hope, he was so evil and stuff. That's why he's number 4. Because that's episode 4. Get it? I'm kidding. He was a great villain in episode 4. In episode 5, he couldn't kill his son. In episode 6, he saved his son and killed himself, sacrificed himself, and killed the Emperor. Which actually, when he had character growth in this movie, he couldn't kill his son. He wanted him to join him in the dark side of the Force and come and rule the galaxy together, but he couldn't do it. And then but he had a lot of character growth, and I think he was such a sick, cool villain. He's like the best villain in Star Wars, I think. Better than Palpatine for sure, because Palpatine we rarely get to see. We only saw him in the prequel trilogy a lot, but he was more the Supreme Chancellor than he was evil. But he was number 4. But the next person, number 3 on my list, is Boba Fett. I have not seen the Book of Boba Fett, so no spoilers yet. I just haven't watched it yet because I was watching Mandalorian because I'm kind of low. I'm trying to catch up on Star Wars. I started a Mandalorian and then I stopped. So then I came back and I forgot about it. And then I never watched Star Wars again. I don't know what happened. And I came back to Star Wars and I remembered the Mandalorian. And I barely started watching it. I finished watching the show, finished Ahsoka, and I'm watching Clone Wars. I'm going to the animated shows, but I'm not gonna watch Book of Boba Fett with my brother and my friends and stuff like that. We're gonna watch this, but he's number 3 because he's such a good bounty hunter. He's so cool. He is so cool. And Boba Fett's just so cool. Especially in Empire Strikes Back, where he's the one who captures Han Solo and everything. He's so sick. He's such a good. You don't even know if he's good or bad. I mean, he's probably both. I mean, it depends on how much money you're paying him, because he's a bounty hunter. He could be capturing somebody good. He could be capturing somebody evil. It really depends on how much money you pay him. And I just thought he was so sick, especially with him flying around in his jetpack. Taking his place as his father, Jango Fett. As Boba Fett, using his armor, and I just thought he was so sick. And number 2 on my list is Padme Amidala. A lot of people probably disagree with me, but I really liked Padme Amidala. Not only because her character was just actually insane. She was such a good character. Honestly, she started off. In episode 1, she started off a little kind of weird. In episode 2, she was so awesome. She was such a good character. And honestly, she listened to Anakin. She's such a good person too. Her characters Natalie Portman plays such a good Padme Amidala. I didn't even say it right. It's Natalie Portman. She plays such a good Padme Amidala. I just think she was such a good character. She was such a good character, and especially for Anakin to fall in love with, because she's so. Not only is she actually a good senator, but she's also a good person and will help people and stuff. She's not one of those royalty persons who are just so mean and stuff like that you hear about. She's number 2 on my list because I really liked Padme, especially in the Clone Wars. She's such a good, she's actually good. She goes on some missions sometimes, being sick and stuff. But Natalie Portman is such a good Padme Amidala. And number 1 is Anakin Skywalker. It's an Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Anakin Skywalker and Jake Lloyd, Anakin, but he's so awesome. Especially, from being a slave kid to being rescued, to becoming a Jedi Padawan, to becoming a Jedi Knight, to be, in this. He's just such a good character, and he grew. His character growth has gotten progressively worse from the movies. He came from a really sweet, innocent boy to really. He found his own darker side. I don't know why it's so blurry. I took a screenshot. It was just fine, not blurry. And then in episode 3 is when he turns to the dark side, meaning he lost all his character growth from episode 1 to episode 3. And then in episode 4 to 6, he got his character growth back. But Anakin Skywalker is such a good character, especially to fall in love with Padme and being a loving son, Because honestly, he's such a good character because he's such a sick Jedi. He made up the Obi-Wan spin, which I can do with my lightsaber, but I'd have to start. I want to start a new channel, which I won't tell you the name of it, but I will start a new channel where I do lightsaber stuff, where I do Star Wars fan films. I will probably read fan fictions, but I want to mostly do fan films and focus on those. But right now I'm doing this because I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed Anakin Skywalker's character. Like, he was such a good character, especially in Revenge of the Sith. That dual sick. He's such a skilled Jedi. And I just thought he was awesome. He's like my favorite character because Hayden Christensen plays such a good Anakin. And he plays such, and so did Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd played a good Anakin. And he did not deserve the hate that he got for being a child actor as playing Anakin Skywalker. And people hated the prequel trilogy. They trashed on it when it came out. But like, I love the prequel trilogy. I love all the Star Wars movies. I just prefer others more than others, which is the whole point of ranking every Star Wars movie video. It's the whole point. I just like more movies more than others. But like, he's my number one. And anyways, those are the top 10 best Star Wars characters in my opinion. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Lord Sci-Fi. Comment down below what video you would like to see next. Comment down below your top 10 best Star Wars characters. And I'll see you guys in the next video.